This is ASS Breaking News.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's going to be a very special day because, hey, it's one of your Gabba's birthdays today, isn't it? I see you, Jim. I see you, Costa, right over there. Everybody, let's sing happy birthday to Jim Acosta, the little bitch. Are we going to sing happy birthday to him? We're going to have cookies coming out later on and everything as well. It's going to be great. Absolutely wonderful. So as we get on into this, yes, I'll take your questions now.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Miss Yazaki.
You.
Okay.
The bitch-looking one. Yes.
Thank you, Miss Yazaki. My first question to you is why would Vice President Kamala Harris do such a thing?
First of all, I don't like your tone, and secondly, we've elected a woman.
You are aware that Vice President Kamala Harris went on BET and basically said that she doesn't want she wants voter ID because of the rural communities don't have access to Kinko's and Xerox. Why would she say such a thing?
Okay, first and foremost, what you have to understand is that she is a woman nominated in this position, and we are very excited and happy to have this woman here to be able to do that because she is a woman, and I think that's going to bring a new perspective, and especially her being a woman of color to the table as well.
Ms. Yuzaki, I'd like to follow up by asking why is the vice president so out of touch with the American people?
Well, first and foremost, she's a woman, a woman of color. So I don't understand why you're having this tone.
Well,
asking why she's
I'm sorry to interrupt, Ms. Yazaki. The reason why I ask is because does President Harris know that she would be offending half of the country who primarily use Kinko's and Xerox to photocopy their bare ass and give those prints to their coworkers? Or were you aware of that, Ms. Yazaki?
Well, I mean, to give a bare ass picture of yourself to your coworkers is the best gift you could give somebody. Not just your coworkers. Give them to your mother. Give them to your father. This is what I'm talking about. By her being a woman and a woman of color, the perspective she brings to the table is something that you wouldn't get with anyone else. So we're very happy. We're very happy. We're very, very happy and satisfied with her work. And we think the American people are very happy with it too.
How could Queen Kamala be so dismissive of the attention and care that people in rural communities give to their asses? I mean, people take this seriously.
This is, and again, I mean, her being a woman, she understands the importance of a clean ass.
Does God Empress Kamala, does she understand that photocopying your ass to harass someone you're sexually attracted to in the workplace, does she realize that that's actually a God-given right protected by the Constitution? I mean, the fact that she would say that rural communities don't have access, that she would simply say that, rural communities would use Kinko's and Xerox to photocopy their IDs. And when that's just plainly not true, they use it to photocopy their asses and give those prints to their coworker, who they're usually then subject to human resources complaints.
Well, I don't understand why there would be a human resource complaint. I mean, how do you think Kamala Harris got where she is without being able to Xerox her ass and give it to a coworker, or actually her boss?
So you're saying that the God Empress herself has Xeroxed her own ass?
Yeah. I mean, look.
Listen.
Just so you know, she is a woman, a strong, independent woman, and can do whatever she wants with her body parts in order for herself to, move up the ladder per se. And her giving this perspective and different point of view to this administration is very important. And I think it resonates with the American people because we're here for progress.
Would the Queen Empress Kamala Harris volunteer to show solidarity with the rural communities by photocopying her ass in front of the American people?
Look, as I said before, we have nominated a woman for this position, and she has been doing a great job. I don't want to put words in her mouth or say that she would or wouldn't. Depends on what type of position she can get out of it. Then maybe she would, but I wouldn't put words in her mouth. But if it made her president, she would do it. But I wouldn't put words in her mouth, no.
What about Candace?
I'm sorry, Candace? Candace who?
Habibi's welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour.
Welcome, Habibi. I can't believe this fit me, but it did.
It's so good.
It's no longer just about who gets to vote or making it easier for eligible voters to vote. It's about who gets to count.
You know who you kind of remind me of today?
Huh.
You remind me of my friend Siraj. Do you follow Siraj on Twitter?
Is he that boomer that runs the list?
Right.
Okay.
Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. Hold on. There we go. Oh, shit. Look at that. Jay. Look at that.
This is my favorite shirt of Earn, honestly.
It's just too good.
I think it looks so good. Chill, Earn right here, the Caliphate Earn. I wear this every day.
It's too beautiful.
So I become closer with Allah. So when they say when you're gonna go pray and you walk to the mosque, every foot is a hasanat. When I wear this and whack off, every time I ejaculate, it's a hasanat.
Amazing.
That's why this is kind of hard.
Sean King comes up in here and says, "Happy birthday, Earn." So I don't know if you've heard, but Siraj is joining Locals. Why? Well, he wants to share some of his raw, unfiltered thoughts that he can. Literally, Islamophobia. What's happening, y'all? Man, Jay, crazy week. I am traveling this week, which is why the Earn is not with me. But first of all, we have to give Earn a shout out on here because he is essentially family.
Goddamn boomer! I told you it wasn't muted.
oh yeah, that's right. There we go. I muted it. There we go. Sorry, I don't know what I didn't do. He's family.
He is family.
Sorry, as a boomer, I can't help it. I simply cannot help being such a boomer. But I have I was going to stitch together basically a whole lot of different things for Earn, but I will just give you at least this because this is one of the funniest things he's done.
Come on, want a cookie? Oh, buddy.
He's
about that cookie. He's after it.
So, what did you do? Like, first you leave Earn in the middle of nowhere, and then you can't even properly like stitch together a praise honorable video to him.
I mean, yes, I couldn't because he's not with us, and I'm working on shitty Wi-Fi rental. I'm sorry, shitty hotel rental. No, shitty hotel Wi-Fi. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with me?
I know it's the boomer. You're still recuperating from when your wife left you. That's why you're.
I know, seriously.
Traveling around all the time. Should I keep this eyeliner on, or should I take it off?
Yeah, keep it on. Keep it on.
We're gonna go throughout the whole thing.
Hobby says, "I like the form-fitting dress, Jay. Can we have a plunging neckline next time? Seriously, Jay, we need it.
You got it. Whatever you want, baby."
I shit you not, Jay. I created just for the Habibis, and you don't have to use a promo code at all because I literally knocked off 20% on all this shit, and that is this earned merch. Look at that design. Look at that. Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. A king.
Absolutely.
I'll drop a link in the chat. And you guys can go ahead, put in those orders. You have until July 28th to basically get that. It's just like all the other shit that we did. The Habibi. So
if you go on the Habibi Bros website, there's also on all earned merch, there's 20% off. You just put the promo code.
So you get yourself a hoodie, get yourself a long sleeve, get yourself a tank, show off those guns, or get a crew neck if you're an incel like me, or you could get yourself a V-neck and celebrate the king, the urn. Okay, so Jay, before we get into it, as always, Jay and I are completely independent. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check us out on Twitter at Habibi_Bros. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Habibi Bros. We are currently working on our next slew of guests for our premium episodes. We have a pretty interesting collective of people. So hopefully those will be coming out soon. But to lead into this show, besides our tribute to our King and Savior, our Lord and Savior, the Urn, he obviously saves. Meanwhile, all the Texas Democrats flee. That is quite a segue right there because I couldn't think of anything better.
Well, that was a great one. You did a pretty good segue.
Oh, thank you. Well, the Texas Senate actually, they passed the GOP elections bill after Democrats left the state to protest. And they voted along party lines of 18-4, where Senate Republicans approved what they call a controversial bill that Democrats and voter rights advocates say will suppress the votes of people of color and those with disabilities. The legislation, however, will languish unless the Texas Democrats return to the state before the end of the 30-day special session called by Republican Governor Greg Abbott. Now, Jay, this has been I don't understand how we've gotten to this point, but Greg Abbott has threatened to arrest, or at least pledged to arrest, these Texas Democrats upon their return. First of all, is he even able to do that, or is he even allowed to do that? Or will he do it?
I hope he does. It'll be fucking hilarious. Absolutely great. Or just completely forget about him. One or the other. Because it's the most self-serving, idiotic fucking flight that it's the dumbest fucking act I've ever seen.
Spencer was supposed to give us some goddamn information on this voter rights bill. And as always, Spencer did not deliver the goods. What the fuck, Spencer?
What the fuck? Even after today, after I sent I got your mother's PayPal, and I finally compensated for last night, and still this is how you play us sex. This is how you play us sex.
This is how he repays us.
I see how it is.
Bart the G guy, thank you, says, Siraj loves his dog because he shows him off for doing a normal dog thing. I'm going to dox you again, Bart. I don't give a fuck. KB says, is Siraj having a stroke? Probably.
Probably.
There's a good chance I am. Bart says, it is illegal in Texas for them to try and break quorum. Interesting. So, makes up for it. But yeah, there was a lot of weird shit happening from that whole, I want to say that whole affair, because you had people, these Texas Democrats, posting their L's online. Let's just go through some of them. You have
They're
James
beautiful. They're beautiful.
You have let me pull this up here before I get off track too much. James Tallarico. Let me share the screen. And I'm a boomer still. We're taking forever.
This is true. You are a boomer.
Boomer that only Dr. Drew recognizes. James Tallarico tweets out, "My Democratic colleagues and I are leaving the state and kill the Texas voter suppression bill. We're flying to D.C. to demand Congress pass the For the People Act to save our democracy. Good trouble, #TextSledge." Then he continues on. Special session is over. And then this is probably my favorite tweet of the whole thread, and I think it's a lot of people's favorite tweet. He said he writes, "Just landed in Memphis on our way to D.C. Thank you all for your well wishes. We left behind our families, our livelihoods, and our beloved Texas. But our sacrifice is nothing compared to the sacrifices brave Americans have made throughout history to protect the sacred right to vote." Just beautiful. He says he goes on to say that they're prepared to stay out of Texas for the rest of the session. And he says the decision wasn't easy. Many of my colleagues left kids, elderly parents, and sick loved ones. Many are risking their day jobs and their seats in the House, but we won't sit by and watch our democracy wither on the vine. Jay, you realize that what's probably going to happen is that as soon as basically they pass this law, Stacey Abrams is going to start supporting it. That's basically the trajectory at this point.
I can't wait to see it because everyone that called all these laws Jim Crow 2.0, voting ID laws as Jim Crow or racist relics of the past and shit like that are suddenly doing a 180 on all of this. And none of them got anything done. They still did the vote. The Democrats that did stay voted in favor for it. And I have yet to see anyone report how any of these laws even remotely suggest that they're like Jim Crow 2.0, other than the fact them just saying it's Jim Crow 2.0. And I have never seen anybody suck their own dick as hard as that motherfucker just did on that tweet thread. We left loved ones. It was hard. We left our cozy beds. Fuck you, dude. You didn't do shit. You were on a field trip with all of your friends.
And it gets even better. Let's see. Oh shit! Everyone's saying great Wi-Fi signal, Siraj. They can't even fucking hear me.
We can hear you. You're choppy. You're coming in very nice and choppy.
Oh shit! Let me close out of my laptop then. Out of the other one.
Do what you gotta do. Call your.
God, I'm such a boomer.
We know this.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody who comes on, everyone that comes on to watch they're expecting it. I mean, it's half the reason, not half the reason. I would say like a 0.69% reason why they watch.
Yeah, I feel like half of the allure, the appeal really is just to watch how choppy my stream gets.
I can't wait for Fuzzy to show the video of this. It's like me, I'm crystal clear, and you're just the Chronicles of Boomer Siraj.
This is what I get. This is what I get for fucking traveling, and I hate it, man. I hate this shit so much.
Should have become a doctor.
I really should. Man. Anyways, Gene Wu, who's another Texas Democrat, tweeted out this photo. And it starts off by him saying, landed safely in D.C., officially out of arrest jurisdiction of Governor Abbott. It was wonderfully to randomly run into people who recognize me and apply to what we are doing. I guarantee you, Jay, no fuck he's doing.
Nobody.
They don't even know who the fuck he is.
Nope. I mean, they're just out of frame. They were praising him, and everybody was clapping and laughing with him and everything. He was just out of frame. You couldn't see it in his arms. Look, he's Asian. He's kind of short. His arms are not as long as he would like them to be. I mean, me being 5'4", it's the same thing. Every time I take a selfie with my girlfriend or anybody, they're like half out of the picture because my arms are too short. So it's probably the same thing.
And then it gets better. Gene Wu then tweets out, "My fist meal as a fugitive, delicious." And look at that. Axios then says, "My fifth meal as fugitive was Dan's mom's juicy back door." Abe Eckstein says the Texas Dems singing was more cringe than any vaccine song.
It was
really?
so bad. Did they sing? Do you have that video of them
Standing there when a new Voting Rights Act for this century is there, and the rights that were struggled, that so many lives were taken, so much courage was demonstrated, are preserved once again. I turn it back over to you for the questions, and thank you very much for all that you and all of your colleagues are doing here today. Thank you.
We will overcome. We will overcome. We will overcome someday. Deep in our heart, I do believe we will overcome someday.
Thank you, Miss T.
That was that. We will overcome. We will overcome.
You know what, Jay? I feel like we need to cleanse our ears after that.
Yes, please. I mean, can you?
You got the vaccine. You got the vaccine. They got the vaccine. We got the vaccine. We can get back to normal. Let me inform you. Let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing out people. Let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox. Back in the days, measles and mumps, man. Back in the days, but because of the vaccines, none of those stays. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now. No need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late. For real.
Oh, I feel immediately better after listening.
It's so much better like that. It's so much better. You feel like everything is right in the world.
I know. Happens. Amazing. I also find it amazing that did you hear the news that Olivia Rodrigo went to the White House to promote the vaccine? And she didn't play the vaccine song once.
Who is that?
She's some Disney actress who came out with an album that Jake Wilkins really likes. And yes, Jake Wilkins, if you're watching, I am throwing shade. He's the only person that likes. Jake Wilkins has the music taste of a 15-year-old.
Well, he probably is in her DMs too. But
that's also
when she was 15. But do you have any songs that you can play? Don't, because it would be copyrighted.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the thing is, I was hoping that she would play we do have this.
Vaccination Day. It's Vaccination Day. It's time for vaccine shot number 2. I've got my mask with Pikachu, but I am running 7 minutes late. I hope they'll jab me anyway. I really want this shot today. Now my fear of COVID can abate. I'll see actual real life people. It'll be totally strange. Wow, am I so ready for this change. And for the first time in forever, I'll emerge from my lockdown. For the first time in forever, I'll go catch Pokemon downtown. My right-wing friends might think I'm crazy for being cautious all along, but for the millionth time in forever, I'm pretty sure they're wrong.
Buddy, save some pussy for the rest of us. Holy shit.
I admire this guy I will try to emulate this guy,
bro,
for the rest of my life.
Yo, I'm just glad Emily doesn't watch this show because she would be leaving me for this man right away.
Absolutely. I mean, she already left you for less.
I mean, she left me, but she would get ideas and obviously, Pikachu. What?
Are you saying
anyways, Nate Beebe says, did Jay recently get hit with gamma radiation? Am I only one noticing his green tint? Actually, yeah, I do see a little green tint on you.
Yeah. Well, it's because I have a green screen right behind here.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I got the green screen so it could be a little bit better, but the problem is I need better lighting. So there's light flashing off, and it makes it look
so right now he's an alien, just like, and also with the eye makeup that doesn't make it any better. Anyways, Abe Eckstein says arrest libs of TikTok. So I guess the Texas Dems and libs of TikTok are sharing a jail cell. Anyways, Jay, because I am operating on Pakistani Wi-Fi, I thought it was obviously imperative to show exactly what's going on with all this voter rights stuff. Because President Kamala Harris and Vice President Joe Biden weighed in on the issue.
It's no longer just about who gets to vote or making it easier for eligible voters to vote. It's about who gets to count the vote. Who gets to count whether or not your vote counted at all. It's about.
So we have that.
Okay.
And then we have the whole thing that Kamala Harris was getting flamed for.
Is agreeing to voter ID one of those compromises that you'd support?
I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't. There's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are. Of course, people have to prove who they are, but not in a way that makes it almost impossible for them to prove who they are.
So, Jay, I don't know exactly what the fuck's going on, but it sounds like everybody in rural communities, they're all poor.
What you gotta understand is that they have to, like how she does that, how she does the head nod when she's talking. They have to. You don't know how. Look, not everybody in rural communities can afford 25 cents.
It's true. I mean, just look at that guy. It took him forever, for the first time in forever, to catch a Pokemon, and also catch my wife's heart. That motherfucker.
But it's funny the way that they talk about poor people or people in rural communities as if they have no. It's basically like they're talking about people who live in a village in Lebanon or some shit, who have no internet, who don't have a fucking FedEx right around the corner that they can just go in and use as a print shop. It's so funny to me how degrading they speak down to people who don't live in coastal cities or don't live in fucking Chicago or some shit. Like, it's fucking hilarious and it's insulting. I honestly think it's fucking insulting to a lot of people that live in those places to even suggest that they can't get an ID, that they can't find a Xerox machine or have to print it or send it in. And most of these laws are in place saying that they will be provided with an ID. They don't even have to go print shit. They just have to go pick it up. It's
just amazing how, honestly, I just don't understand how Kamala Harris is just allowed to talk to the media. Like, people were saying, like, yo, Joe Biden should never be talking to the media because he'll always put his foot in his mouth. like, have you seen Kamala Harris? I mean, she has, ever since she has become vice president, every interview she's done has been a disaster. I don't know why she continues to agree to do interviews. And she just cements her case for not ever being elected president. The only way she's becoming president, really, is basically, what was the tally for you? What was it, 6 months?
6 months. He's dead in 6 months.
So we're coming up on 6 months, actually. It'll be July 20th. So that's 6 days away. So if President Biden doesn't die in 6 months, what was that bet that we made?
I shaved my beard. It's a porn stash. Well, I mean,
No. That's not what you said. That's not that. The porn stash was if Biden won.
What was it?
The election. If he dies, if he doesn't die in 6 months, then what did we agree to? Someone needs to. We're going to need to send Spencer to go back and find out exactly what the bet was.
Because I can't remember. The other bet of me
was it going to be like shaving my name into your chest hair?
Was that it, or was it?
I feel like that
ass?
might either chest or ass hair. I feel like it might have been chest hair.
I think you're right.
That means he's gonna FBI is gonna surround your house right now. He's like,
it's gonna happen.
Jeremy says, I'm 30 minutes late. You guys are you're gonna need to start over. Abe says, check your DM. I'm in the middle of a fucking show, Abe. I'm sorry. I can't do all this shit at once.
And plus his stream might cut out too if he opens another fucking tab.
I don't know if the internet can withstand the bandwidth. But yes,
Deep Fried was right. It was a dinner that would fly out to wherever you are and take you out for dinner. But I think that one was if Jeff Zucker helped Trump start his own TV company. I said, if that happened, is his name Jeff Zucker? We did it on stream, on Twitch stream.
Did we do it on Twitch?
We did do it on Twitch, so it's probably gone forever. But
no, I'll find a way to find it. We'll find it. But Fuzzy says Jay would give Siraj a tug live on camera. Essentially,
I'll do that for free. We don't even have to bet at 100%. We don't even have to bet.
Yeah, we don't even have to bet that. We'll do that. That's a Tuesday afternoon for us.
Be done in 2 minutes and it's over.
Yeah, I mean that's the shortest Twitch stream you'll ever see.
69 seconds.
69 seconds, and I'm done. I'm ready for a cigarette and a nap. So President Biden, he gave a speech on Tuesday in Philadelphia, and interestingly enough, you actually have a Washington Post opinion writer, Henry Olsen, saying it was both demagogic and dangerous, speaking about voting rights at the National Constitution Center. Henry Olsen says, President Biden's speech on Tuesday was just the latest chapter in the Democratic Party's reckless attempt to use disputes over voting regulation to bridge its intra-party divisions. As such, it is both demagogic and dangerous. According to Biden, the right to vote is under assault because of Republican efforts to enact election integrity measures. He called these laws and proposals an attempt to suppress and subvert the right to vote in fair and free elections, an assault on democracy, an assault on liberty, an assault on who we are. He went on to say the country faced its most significant test of our democracy since the Civil War. In Biden's world, there is one party that is committed to democracy, his, and one that is not. And then he kind of goes into basically all the stuff going on with Georgia, all the stuff going on with Florida, voter ID in general. And I just have to say, when it comes to all of this voter ID stuff, I don't even know if Joe Biden is with it enough to realize that Georgia Governor Stacey Abrams is already in support of voter ID. And they completely swept that shit under the rug, acting like they were never in support of voter ID.
Or against it. They're acting like they were never against it. It was also
that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah.
I think the majority whip also. And there was a nice dunk on him by one of the Fox contributors. I forget his name right now. But he tweeted in October that voter ID laws were racist and a relic of Jim Crow, something along those lines. And then he had an interview just saying, no, Democrats have never been against voter ID laws. And it's funny that it has to be contributors and opinion writers and people like you and me on fucking Twitter dunking on these people and holding them accountable and showcasing how much they're fucking lying. And instead of that dick-faced Glenn and Dale over at CNN or at Washington Post, these people lie over and over again, and they're nowhere to be found. They're over here like fact-checking fucking random posts on Facebook or some shit. It's insane. It's fucking insane. It's a wholehearted fucking scam. And I will jihad on all of their asses as hard as I do their moms. I swear to God, look, Ass Licking has 2,000 followers left, and it's going to be a blaze of fucking glory on their asses.
I'm scared. Mommy, I'm scared. So, Jay, I mean, we'll see what happens. Maybe if Spencer does his fucking research, we know exactly what's going to happen with
with what's going on.
What's going on with this voter ID law?
You know what we should do? Honestly, like, fuck it. Let's just go to China, find somebody who is willing to actually do the work that we can take back and put in the basement.
Wait, say that again.
I said, fuck it. Let's just find somebody in China that will do the work, and we can just put in the basement. Because I mean, I hate having to have to sleep with his mom as payment. Like, it takes a lot out of me every 2 weeks.
It's tiring. You know, you got a bad back. She has obviously a worse back, but there was actually some drama over the weekend, and it actually involved a lot of what happened with me joining locals, and a lot of it began with this. What's his name? An avid who, people use the term white supremacist quite often, but like this dude is like absolutely proud to be a white supremacist. He goes by the name Scott Greer, literally puts his height and IQ in his Twitter name. His Twitter bio says, just a white guy on Twitter, highly respected Daily Caller alum, author of No Campus for White Men, host of Highly Respected. So this guy was outed several years ago, I think in 2017 or 2018, for actually writing for Richard Spencer's white nationalist, white supremacist blog. And basically, he is like proud. He's like Nick Fuentes light. He's Nick Fuentes light. Nick Fuentes got banned from Twitter. And, I joined locals, and in the post on there, I stated how Nick Fuentes, who's anti-Semitic, misogynistic, racist, homophobic, Islamophobic, you name it, he has a lot of shitty opinions, and I'm actually surprised it took until now in 2021 for him to get banned. But I still think it's a bad idea for big tech companies like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, to ban people off of there for speech. And so I created this locals post, and Scott Greer took the first shot. He says, why do these people want a free speech platform if they love Twitter censorship? And then it kind of trickled down from there, where I responded by saying, amazing how fucking dumb Mr. IQ 187 is here. And then he responded saying, this is so funny. He put 6'9" and 420 in his handle. And then it continued on from there. Well, actually, the very first post I had responded to was literally just taking a screenshot of him actually following me. And then he responded saying, thinking this is an own is why you are nothing more than the diversity hire at the Examiner. To which I responded saying, Scott is mad that I was a diversity hire, yet I'm somehow whiter than him, which is factually true. And then he tried to go after me by trying to connect me to Sidney Powell. He said, when is Sidney Powell coming on the Habibi Bros? I hear you have a really close connection. And then Jay jumps in and says, right after we have your mom on to explain how she likes this brown dick up her ass. So after all that, Scott Greer unfollowed me. Sad face.
Oh, sad. I
So,
love it. I love one of the Habibis asked there's a bot on Twitter who does these little like GIFs or videos, and he asked the lawyer, a lawyer bot. I forget, where's the tweet? It's so fucking good.
I actually have it, Jay. I have it.
Oh, perfect.
Let me go ahead and play it.
I couldn't stop laughing on it.
It's too good. Let me play it right now. Oh, here we go. And the link is this. Here, let me pull it up. Boomer Siraj strikes again. Give me a second.
It's in the private chat. I sent it in the private chat.
I got it.
You were going to be a boomer.
There it is. It says, let's just zoom in on that bad boy. Look at that photo. The Habibis. So Scott's dumb gaffa mother. Jake, can I just say I am shocked that you haven't been banned yet.
I'm too. I especially not this and calling his mom. Well, luckily, calling his mom a dumb gaffa won't get me suspended. I need to keep it on Arabic insults, and I think I'll be okay.
Yeah.
But once I reach 10,000, it's a different ballgame.
Man, just amazing.
It really is.
Yeah, so there's that. So yeah, he unfollowed me, and Jay, I have to say, you really hate to see it. You really do.
We were gonna have him on the show and everything. I wanted to see like
right after,
how his
right after we have his mom on, obviously, to talk about how she loves that brown dick.
I know. I just wanted to see how his mental health was. Hearing his mom shout, more dick, Allahu Akbar.
I think it's at one of those times where Twitter actually was taking your side this once. They're like, normally you ban him, but he's dunking on Scott Greer, so we're going to let this one slide. Now go after Brian Stelter. Yeah, now go after Brian Stelter, then we're going to have some problems.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, man. Anyways, getting into our top issues, we're actually getting into the international stratosphere this week because there are actually quite a lot of stories. And actually, what's his name? Prison Mitch. He had this comment earlier. I hope I can find it because
I have faith in you. I do.
Yeah, this is it. Prison Mitch says it's hilarious. Siraj has to use his phone to check Twitter because if he touches his Safari tab, it will crash his PC. And that is actually true. I'm looking at all the stories that we have on my phone simply because for some reason on my PC I can't get past the paywall. It's just on some of these articles, so I have to go onto my phone to get it. It's just absolute garbage. Anyways, so the Euro 2020 finished up this Sunday, and it was to look. There's a lot of excitement surrounding it, and between England and Italy. First time that England was in the final since 1966. That's 55 years ago, and it's looking like that England might actually win it. They were up with 2 minutes, and they were up 1-0 2 minutes into the game, and then they played not to lose. Now we're not really talking about sports in general, but what happened afterwards, and that is as the Italians tied it. and they went into extra time, and they went into penalties. There are 3 black English players who took penalties who all those 3 missed. You have Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Bukayo Saka. Marcus Rashford from Manchester United, Jay, I know you're probably a fan. Bukayo Saka from Arsenal, I am a big fan. Jadon Sancho, I am not familiar with him as much, but
he's brand new. He's like almost like 17 years old or something, like just turned 18 or something. Yeah, he's so young.
Yeah, so having that type of pressure on you in the final, obviously it's for some people it's too much. I mean, Bukayo Saka and Sancho, I think, are both under 20 years old. Marcus Rashford, I think, is at least in his mid-20s. Regardless of their age, all 3 of them faced nonstop racist abuse online for their penalty misses. And it was actually really, I mean, honestly, Jay, like, this is the type of shit that, here in the U.S., like, you see that, you meet, it turns into, like, I don't even know if there's, like, a way to, like, the only thing that came close to it in the last year, I think, was the NASCAR driver who spotted the quote-unquote noose in his garage, but it was actually just a garage door pulley.
Right. There's nothing that happens here in the
I mean, like, at least today, right. I mean, look, there's still a lot of racists in sports for sure. I mean, you look at Boston. I mean, I am a huge Boston sports fan, but like that town has a pretty big racist problem.
Right. Well, because a lot of them are still
against black players.
Dudes. Right.
And yeah, maybe that's the case. I don't know. Maybe it's the.
I'm just being dumb.
But I'm just trying to understand, like, Jay, how is it 2021 and like, when was the last time you went to the UK, Jay? Have you been to the UK?
Yes, I have. It's been a while. It's been like 8, maybe even longer. I think like 12 years.
And these bitches out in the UK always shun the United States for being like so racist and like we're oppressing black people nonstop and people of color and then they just and then this happens. Like they have no leg to stand on. Of course, the racist abuse is terrible, but man, if you can't control the shit in your own country, don't like tell us what to do. And man. Right. Like, we have our own issues that we're dealing with, and I think we've come a long way. But, man, that is, like, I'm just trying to think, like, how crazy it would be if, like, in the U.S., you saw, like, nonstop fans sending, like, the monkey emoji to LeBron James because, like, he missed the shot in the finals. Like, if that ever happened, like, holy shit, there would be hell to pay.
Right. There would be. And the thing is, it's all over Europe. Like, it's not just a UK thing. You have people playing in Roma, playing in especially in the Italy league. The racial slurs that are thrown at these players live on the pitch is absolutely disgusting. Like, it's over the line, over the top, fucking horrible. I mean, Ingram was blasted for saying "shut up and dribble." What they do over there is like way over that.
It's widely accepted. It's just like the racism is so ingrained, and then they try to like flex on us by saying, "Oh, we ended slavery like 30 years before the United States," and it's like, okay, yeah, maybe you did, but look at you now.
Yeah, look at what's going on today, and like Italy, the Italy league, the
Italian league, German, Spanish, like holy shit, dude, they're so fucking racist in Spain and Russia.
Oh my god,
I mean, it's just such an awful problem across Europe, and yet they always like. The Europeans and the British, they always just come at the United States and be like, you have a racism problem, and we don't like it.
Right. And then we have our fucking officials and everything be like, yeah, you're right. We do have a racist problem. Like that stupid UN dumb-ass motherfucker who's like welcoming a UN racist study to happen in the United States. Where the fuck has that happened before? When does that ever happen in Europe? In anywhere? Why the fuck is it okay here in the United States? It's so we have the worst, most cowardly fucking people in power right now that it's just driving me nuts.
They just don't want to call out racism when the people come from their own party or they serve their own interests, and it's just terrible. Mr. Kenzo, thank you, says Boomer Siraj doesn't know how to use OBS. Osama bin screencast. See, this is the racism I was talking about, Jay.
Kenzo sounds like an Italian name. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Anthony Rivera says, at least we fought the slave owners. They just paid them. That's that man. What a blow. That's good. Also, real quick, I have to highlight this one thing from The Economist because this is just weird. Look at this tweet. The Economist writes, the most striking aspect of Italy's 26-man squad before it took to the pitch was that alone among the main contenders, it did not include a single player considered as being of color. Now, Jay, I don't know about you, but those fucking Italians need to get their act together and bring on a few people of color, or I'm going to have to suspect they might be fascists.
I know, right?
I mean, the country that founded fascism. I mean, it's getting close. It's cutting close.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Italy would be racist as fuck? Who?
Not me. So The Economist seems to point out. I mean, look. Let me show you that again, just so you can see that ratio. The ratio is to 2,300 replies, 2,800. 2,800 replies, 2,300 retweets, which I'm sure, basically, all of them being quote tweets. So, don't worry, this will get to the list. But it is actually kind of funny, Jay, because in this country, Italians have always been kind of seen as, or at least until, at least the mid 20th century, as being of color. Have they not been? I mean,
Middle Easterns too.
Yeah, Arabs. It's just one of those things where, like, over time, Italians have been seen as more Caucasian, but like the way this country treated them, they were definitely people of color.
Well, that's what's happening with Asians right now too.
They're kind of being sanitized of their color. It's just
Jews,
a weird.
Everyone. I mean, anyone that they can do to keep on suppressing Black people and people of color. There's not going to be any people of color other than Black people here.
Eventually they'll come for Black people and say, you know what, you're not Black.
You're not Black. You're too straight.
And they already started. Thank you, President Biden, for the no mean tweets. Essentially,
100%.
But yeah. That's one of the. I felt like it was important that we highlight that because, I was thinking to myself when England was playing and Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, was saying immigration. The England national team wouldn't happen without immigration. That is true. At the same time, I did not see a single Pakistani or Indian or Muslim or Hindu on that team. And I just got to say, England, that's racist as fuck.
It really is. I mean, what's the Indian population over there now? I mean, the only reason why some food in England is even edible is because of the Indian population that has migrated over there. It's either that or they cook the Indian, and it's either that
and the Pakistani,
the Indian, and it's either that or French or Italian. I mean, actual like.
I mean, you got people in France, Jay. You got people in France who don't consider Algerians to be French because they're not ethnically French.
Right.
It means they're not
that's
white.
Why they hate. But to be fair, they also hate.
They colonized Algeria. Let a bunch of them come into the country, and then they complain about immigration. I mean,
but to be fair, they complain about the Quebecians in Canada as well, who are white. They don't see them as French; they see them as dirt. They hate them.
Well, no, but that's because the Quebecois are assholes, just straight up.
Well,
but then again,
right.
all
and
Canadians are assholes, right. And that's why we need to invade Canada and liberate the good people of Canada from the tyranny of Justin Trudeau.
Disclaimer, fact check. There are no good people of Canada. They're all shit. We should nuke them.
Straight up. Nuke 'em, Duke Nukem. Speaking of being nuked, Jay, how soon is it until we nuke Cuba? I feel like it might happen soon. You want to know why?
Tell me.
Because all of them are Republican. I didn't even watch the end of that video before we even jumped on this. I didn't even realize that was someone's screen recording. But in any event, basically there are a bunch of protests in. I really am a boomer. I'm such a boomer that Dr. Drew has acknowledged me as a boomer. I just got to cut to the scene real quick. Jesus. Hold on one second.
I had some technical stuff getting people up to the podium, which I have frequently. Those of you who raise your hand, I appreciate. Those of you in
You know who you kind of remind me of today?
Huh?
You remind me of my friend Siraj. Do you follow Siraj on Twitter?
Is he that boomer that runs the list?
You got it. He is that boomer that runs the list.
Well, I can see why it could be mistaken,
you kind of remind me of him today,
for another boomer.
But nobody's as bad as Siraj.
It's painful how accurate that is.
I know. It's 100% accurate.
Essentially.
I did it already.
I know. What's wrong with you, Jay? I'm gonna try to. I opened up my laptop so that I could at least try to read these fucking news items because I can't access them on my phone or on my PC. That's how bad it's gotten. Turtleneck 420 says, "Who is Ben Shapiro? Why do so many people hate him? And do you like him?"
Oh, this is my disclaimer. This is my little brother. We haven't.
Oh, okay.
Yet. We need to ban him off of it. So,
thanks for the $10.
Yeah, thank you, Habibi. Thank you. I love you. And the reason why, look, Ben Shapiro is a little 5'2" midget. I am 5'4", and people hate him because he's 5'2". Yeah. That's the reason, Rami. That's the reason.
Anyways, getting back to Cuba, there are a number of dissidents who feel emboldened despite this crackdown. Security forces took dozens of protesters into custody following a wave of protests on Sunday, but dissidents expressed hope the demonstrations would lead to lasting change. Now, there have been a number of protests, as you obviously saw. They haven't seen protests like this since what? In 50 years or something like that? So much so that they're actually curbing social media in Cuba, which actually, Jay, I'm not gonna lie to you, didn't realize they had social media in Cuba.
They barely have social media in Cuba. I mean, there were a couple of YouTube stars from Cuba as well. I mean, I don't know if you saw that video of that YouTuber that was doing he was live on air doing a segment with Spanish or I think it was a Spanish news station, and she got raided live on air.
Wow.
It was scary as shit. Like, to be honest, like thinking about something like that happening is fucking scary as fuck.
Yeah, that's scary as hell. I mean, they've had crackdowns on political dissidents for decades now. Obviously, a communist nation, communist dictatorship at that, under the Castro regime. But the New York Times tweets out this article, which actually made the list. New York Times wrote, shouting freedom and other anti-government slogans. Hundreds of Cubans took to the streets in cities around the country on Sunday to protest food and medicine shortages in a remarkable eruption of discontent not seen in nearly 30 years. Jay, since when has freedom been anti-government? Is it just anti-government in Cuba?
No, to me, it's, to be honest with you, my view on it is freedom is anti-government always. Because government, and the more government you place, the less freedom you're going to have. The more you allow government to invade your life, the less freedom you're going to have. So the less government, the more freedom you get.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I mean, that obviously that point's debatable, but I thought interestingly enough, the reason why, I mean, the New York Times seems to be like taking the side of Cuba, the Cuban government in this case, because of the way they kind of, they dismiss, they like suppress sort of any mention of the word communism. What they do is saying they're protesting food and medicine shortages. I wonder how they got those food and medicine shortages, Jay.
The embargo. It's because everybody sanctions them. It's not like they have fucking resources coming from Russia or coming from Iran or coming from anywhere else. The only people sanctioning them is us and our allies. I mean, this is like an insane argument to me to think that the only reason why Cuba is failing is because of the United States. They always bring that up. They never bring up the failures of communist and socialist fucking Cuba. Cuba will be throwing people, kidnapping people, throwing them in jail, killing them in the streets, never hearing from them again. And they won't say anything wrong about Cuba. It's all about fucking the United States. It's all about all of this, these other countries, Israel, the United States, all this kind of shit. But Cuba right now is taking people who are voicing their concerns, who are voicing for freedom, who are voicing for the shit against the Cuban government, and still they will blame the United States because they are fucking shit fucks, dipshits.
Carl says, happy birthday, Ern. Did you all see the Reuters article claiming the Cuban protests risk a COVID spike? Actually, I'm glad I found that or saw that because that's literally
the
docket. Reuters tweets out, Cuban protests risk exacerbating COVID-19 spike. Look at that. Just look at that, Jay. That is something else.
My fucking God. This is fucking ridiculous. Throughout the whole pandemic, the height of pandemic, these fucks were saying protesting won't kill you. Protesting is morally righteous. Protesting is what you need to be doing. It's more of a health risk of racism than it is with COVID.
Yeah.
And now they are
protesting communism
citing
is apparently going to give you COVID.
A health risk. It is a health risk. Look, people need to wake the fuck up. They need to understand that media, newsrooms, all of these places have been infected by these dick shit fucking communist pieces of garbage. Absolute fucking shit. My jihad right now is going to rage so hard on all of these fuckers and rain down fucking hellfire. I don't know if you guys read the Quran. I don't think you do. But if you did, there is a surah about raining rocks of fire down on these people. Not on these people, but on people like in Sodom and Gomorrah. I will be calling these birds down, and I will rage fire on these newsrooms. I swear to God. The days are numbered. Seriously. And I can't wait.
So one of the things I have to point out to is the fact that as this is going on in Cuba with this supposed spike in COVID, isn't their socialist medical system supposed to be getting them a vaccine? Is that not what's happening?
Right, and it's free. And they're all literate.
And they can all read. They can all read where to get the vaccine.
What's wrong, Cubans? The fuck is wrong with you guys? You can read and you get free healthcare? It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so, but remember, Cubans, don't you ever fucking think of coming into the United States, so says the Biden administration, as the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says that Haitian and Cuban migrants and asylum seekers who try to come to the U.S. by boat will not be allowed to enter the country. Even if asylum seekers reestablish fear of persecution, they will be resettled in third countries, Mayorkas said. So one, they're just telling all the Cubans and Haitians to go fuck off. And we're going to talk about Haiti in just a moment. But I figured this is like a good segue into talking about Haiti because in Cuba, most Cuban Americans vote Republican. And I had this thought the other day after lighting a spliffy that the only reason why they would be taking on this position, at least the Biden administration would be, is because they want to try to prevent future Republican voters. And it got me thinking, maybe the reason why, maybe both sides, Democrats and Republicans, because Republicans want to curb immigration along the southern border because they believe that migrants from Mexico and Central America will largely vote Democrat in places like California and Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, you name it, or in the rest of the country. It just so happens that both parties hate immigration unless it benefits their side. And this is basically exemplified. I can see the full picture right now. That is the only reason why there will forever be an immigration problem, is because both parties can't just say no immigration, like you got to come in here legally. They got to say, oh no, you can come in, but you get the fuck out. Essentially.
100%.
I don't know, Jay. What do you think?
No, I think you're right. It's all about the game of where you're going to be able to get more votes. But the thing is, the people fleeing Cuba right now deserve and need to have asylum. I'm not saying other people don't that are coming from the southern border, but how many coyotes are coming from Cuba? How many of these people who are fleeing Cuba's communism are actually coming in here to,
I don't know, dude. I don't even know. I just know, dude. The only Cuban criminal I know that we let into this country and we shouldn't have is Scarface. And Tony Montana, we should have put him out of business. We should never let him into the country.
Say hello to my little friend.
Anyways,
it's the only movie I've ever watched about gang. I still haven't watched The Godfather.
You haven't watched what? Godfather?
The Godfather.
Oh my God, Jay.
It was banned. It was banned for so long. Look, like The Godfather.
Where was it banned? Where was it banned? Where was it banned?
The UAE, where I was growing up. Like
anti-Italian animus. That's what's going to happen. The Italians got to invade UAE now.
That's what's going to happen.
What's going to happen.
Guys, I will do a stream on Twitch of
you watching The Godfather?
Godfather.
Hell yeah, let's go. Mr. Kenzo, thank you, says COVID in Cuba is spreading because of global warming caused by cow farts, which are out of control because we didn't adopt the AOC's Green New Deal. Essentially 100% the case.
Absolutely. You're just drinking White Claw. God damn it. See, Jane got me this.
Jay, this is the only thing I could have got. This is the only thing I could find out here. This is the only thing. This is the only thing I could find out here. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, anyways, segueing into Haiti, we talked about the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moise last week. Apparently, assassination. So apparently, the
God damn it, Siraj, the guy died.
Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me right now? So this is actually kind of interesting, Jay. Apparently, one of the suspects involved of the assassination of the Haitian president was a former source of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, according to the agent. According to the DEA. The Miami Herald reported that, saying the suspect was first arrested over 20 years ago after allegedly providing false information for a U.S. passport application. Now, a number of suspects have already been arrested, but it appears to have been such a giant operation that there are actually still 5 armed fugitives who are still on the run as the assassination probe has continued. Now, both the president and the first lady were killed in their home just the other week. And the entire, Jay, I have no idea what caused this, but just the fact that we have two countries in the Caribbean that are facing massive political instability. One from communism, one from literally, like an attack on their system of government. And basically the U.S. says, go fuck yourselves. Like is that who we really want to be? Where are the journalists, Jay? Where's Jim Acosta quoting the Statue of Liberty? Where are the firefighter journos who are basically saying this is not who we are? Where are they? Where's Brian Stelter bringing on the media critics saying, why haven't we let any of these asylum seekers or refugees in? How cruel are we? This isn't America.
And we were seeing that for 4 years nonstop for 4 years over less shit than what's going on right now. It's just insane. And then they come out and still claim that they are objective and they're nonpartisan and all of this bullshit. Every time something like this happens, it just showcases more and more what the fuck they are. And they are garbage, propagandists, and fuckfaces. That's what they are. I mean, there's a reason why there's less than 16% of the public
if you remember
trusts cable news.
And what's interesting is if you remember during the Obama years when they had a massive earthquake, we took in Haitian refugees and asylum seekers because their entire country was decimated by an earthquake. So where the fuck is your humanity, President Biden and President Harris? That's right. That's a president. I didn't misspeak.
I only got 6 days left, and he's got to die.
Oh God, Jay, we're so fucked by the FBI right now. That DEA informant's coming right for us, man.
Absolutely. Did you just have one White Claw? Don't lie.
Jay, I haven't even finished my one White Claw.
Jesus. I had a White Claw before getting on here, and I'm finishing half a bottle of Jefferson right now.
Jay, I think the reason it looks laggy is because I'm a boomer, remember? I am a boomer.
We know.
So what are you going to do? Another item that's actually really crazy is not only is there a lot of political instability in Cuba and Haiti, but it looks like South Africa is basically imploding on itself. It's really sad to see because basically the former president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, was put under arrest for contempt of court because he refused to testify in the corruption probe. And as a result, and not just because of his arrest, but that was like the catalyst to basically massive protests at first that turned into rioting and looting. And now more than 72 people in South Africa have died as a result of all of these different incidents, rioting and looting, violence from the police. They've deployed the army in South Africa, and it is just gone to shit. There's also they actually have not gotten their COVID problem under control. Only 2% of the population in South Africa is vaccinated. Compare that to the United States, which is just around 48% vaccinated. It's and 2.5% of South Africa's population, their total population is 60 million, as opposed to ours, which is like what 330 million. Mm-hmm. But anyways, oh fuck, Eliza Blue coming in here, calling me a boomer.
Absolute boomer. But you should have seen before this. She asked, "Is this live?" And yes, you boomer, it's live.
Yes,
I'm dealing with two boomers.
Two boomers.
One side and the other. It's just boomer after boomer happening to me right now. That's essentially
100%.
And so, Deep Fried. Deep Fried is a South African Habibi. Honestly, if you have some crazy videos, Deep Fried, send them over to the Discord. Let's see them.
So getting back to South Africa, Jay, I feel like that could have been us in some way, shape, or form. Like we were in the summer of 2020, had these massive protests that turned into riots in an election year. We didn't have a former president jailed for corruption. Could you imagine if President Obama was jailed on top of all that? Do you think we would actually see that? I feel like we might see that if Obama was put into prison for contempt of the court for not testifying and say his role in the unmasking scandal or something like that.
Right.
Which obviously laws are completely different. He probably would never testify anyways. Just like Donald Trump never testified in the Mueller probe. He basically sent written responses to Robert Mueller's team. But say, for example, if President Trump was jailed for that, like if he was jailed for, say, contempt of the Mueller, contempt by the court for not testifying in the Mueller probe. Like, think of how fucking crazy that would that type of environment in this country. Like, I feel like South Africa is basically already where we could have been. Like, you kind of look at it and you'd be like, God damn, like that really could have been us.
Right.
I mean, it still could be us, but like it really could have been us.
Right. I mean, if you've ever talked to Deep Fried and stuff, like you would understand that we're just a lot more civilized than the people are in South Africa. So that would never.
Jay, what the fuck? Jay, what the fuck did you just say?
I'm just
holy shit.
I'm just messing. No, and you're totally true. I mean, because there's a lot of videos that came out of Minnesota, that came out of New York, that came out of Chicago, that look almost exactly like what happened over in South Africa. I mean, it wasn't as brutal, and the death count wasn't that high, but the videos that came out of it were just as vicious. And it's really, really, really sad to see what's going on in South Africa. Oh, look at that. Oh, that booty.
Oh, sorry.
That booty right there.
I was just getting myself another White Claw.
Are you wearing shorts?
I also, so there are a number. Whoa, Jay. All right, we got some jorts up in here. I really hate doing this in the middle of an actual serious story. So the unemployment rate in South Africa, I believe one of the Habibis pointed out, Benjamin Hager says it's 32%. I saw 33% in another article, but that doesn't really matter. The fact that they are even having this, they have, for one, a horrific economy. They still have never really recovered from apartheid, just nonstop racial tension and violence. Not to mention the fact that the rule of law just isn't the same out there. You won't have. There's just like, if you. I remember seeing a video just within like the last few weeks about how like there was a viral video that went around of in South Africa. These what is it called, the armored trucks, Jay, they're transferring money.
Yeah,
you had the dash cam on the two drivers who are literally under assault from a gang trying to raid their truck and steal all of the cash in the armored truck, and basically they fight them off. Like that shit happens way too often in South Africa, on top of all the carjackings. I mean, like, I know it's kind of interesting how we kind of look at ourselves and think that could have been us, but like, fuck, like if we really didn't, if like we really go down the route of like defunding the police and like caving to all of these very far leftist demands of like, just not allowing like what they have in San Francisco with like just not even like enforcing like the law when it comes to stealing or shoplifting, like that ekes away at the rule of law. And once people don't have respect for the rule of law, then it's fucking anarchy.
That's absolutely true. I mean, what's happening in South Africa pretty soon, you're going to see in major cities. I mean, what's stopping it from happening in San Francisco, for instance? Or in Chicago, you had, fuck, that video, it was sick. You had people, parading for I think it was Puerto Rican Pride, or not Puerto Rican Pride, but like for Puerto Rico or something like that was happening. And they had the flag out, and they were dragged out and shot in the middle of the street for having the flag in Chicago. I don't know if it was Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican flag, or what was it, but it was a family, and it was a kid, not a kid, but like either a father or a boyfriend or something with his wife or girlfriend, and they were both just shot in the middle of the street. The video is so hard to watch.
Yeah.
And you see this more and more happening in the streets of these big metropolitan areas: New York, Chicago, LA.
Oh, that's right. I did see that video. Fuck, that was terrible. They got shot for what?
They just flying the flag. They're just driving down with the flag. They turned the wrong neighborhood, I think it was.
Which flag? Which flag did they have? The American flag?
I think it was Puerto Rican.
The Puerto Rican flag, and they were shot and killed for that?
Yeah. I honestly think that's what it was.
Oh,
and it was.
I watched that. I saw that video. It was just so disturbing and so graphic. I didn't even pay attention to like why they were shot. That was just, they were straight up executed. Rico Roca says it perfectly. I mean, one of the things about South Africa I got to point out is the fact that the successive government, which is in opposition to Jacob Zuma, suspects that Jacob Zuma, the former president of South Africa, basically sent out like his associates to stir chaos and turn these protests that wanted him to be released into fucking riots that caused massive amounts of looting. I can't recall how much in damage was caused, but billions of rand. That's their currency for all you racists who don't pay attention to South Africa. Especially deep fried, you racist. In any event, it's just so terrible. And like all these things happening abroad, and the one thing that we're complaining about is this assault on democracy. This, you got to have ID to vote. You got to have ID to prove who you are before you cast a ballot. It's just, our problems are just so like minuscule compared to the rest of the world. It's insane.
It is. It is.
Essentially.
100%. God damn it, you're making me finish my fucking...
I'm
going to get a lot of Taco Bell after this. A lot.
Yeah. So with that being said, Habibis, that's been all the topics that we had to cover today. I know it's kind of a downer on some issues, but let's pick it up with some Ask Us Anything, where you ask us all of your questions, and we will do our best to answer them.
I had some of the Habibis ask me anything on.
Hold on. Eliza says, but wait, why does Jay have better makeup than me? Look at Zoom. Yeah. Jay, who did those eyelashes? Who did those eyes?
My girlfriend did. Because Eliza, if you were watching live, I was Jin Zaki. I actually also had a wig on. So
put it back on.
If you go, no. She can rewind. If you rewind all the way back through, you will see the skit we did, and then we just decided to keep the eyeliner on. It was really good. Where are lengthy video clips of our birthday king? Well, as you know, Janice, Siraj likes to wake up at 2-3 p.m. and then do nothing for like 3 hours or 4 hours, and then come on here and say he had no time. He couldn't do anything. There was nothing he could do. But stop me when I'm wrong, Siraj. Stop me when I'm saying something untrue.
You know, Jay, I understand now how English is your second language because your first language is facts. This man is speaking facts. Anyways. Atomic says, Siraj, did you know they did a song about you? Sex Dwarf. I thought that was about Jay.
Yeah, I mean, look, Siraj is 6'2". I am.
Mark says, Jay, how many stars does your flag have?
69. You can't see the rest of it because it's got 420 stripes and 69 stars, but you can't see it because it got cut.
John Boy says, why does Siraj wear a wedding band while his wife is currently getting her ass eaten by another man? Jay, how did you write that comment on here? I know that's you. Nate BB says, when may we expect our king to be in HBH again? I'm hoping soon. I can't make any promises.
He's right here. Look.
Yeah, he is right
there. You can go onto our Habibi Bros website and earn merch. So he's with you forever.
He's with you all the time. All the time. Bacadero says, can you give President Ern extra lovin's for me? Absolutely. Rachel says, I miss our President Ern. I miss him too. Benjamin says, are you guys having Red Steez on next week? Inshallah, hopefully. We're trying to get him on. We'll see how the week shapes up. Any thongs merch? GWS.
Only if your mom wore it first.
That's true too. Anthony says, keep laughing through the pain, Siraj. I know, a lot nonstop pain. Ducky's Duck says, how amazing is the Texas Dems flying to escape voter persecution? It's quite amazing.
It was hilarious. The pics afterwards, and the pic of them having a 24-pack of Piss Light.
Yeah, Miller Lite. And then they started defending them. They started defending themselves, like being like, conservatives need to come back with a better argument that we were drinking Miller Lite. Like, this is a $15 pack of beer. Like, no, you fucking went on basically a booze cruise masquerading as a fleeing from the state. Basically playing hooky and being, I don't know, fucking celebrated for it. Hold on one second.
All right, while he's taking either a piss or a phone call. Paulio, Jay, I'm thrilled to see you in eye makeup tonight. For the purpose of future meme making, do you have lipstick handy by any chance? Also, could you smile in a sultry way? I don't have any lipstick handy by any chance, but
Stacy says they won't let me send a link. Can I send one to pull up? Cortana wants it on here and say hi to her. Hi, Cortana. What is you said the link for Bonfire?
Now, can I send one? It won't let me send a link. Oh, she's trying to send a link.
Oh, okay. I get what you're
saying. Send it to us on Discord, and we can try and find it up here.
Yeah, try to send it to us on Discord. Damon says, "What's going on, Habibis?"
It's so good, and it's the reason why you were number one. I swear to. Did you see my tweet thread in listing all of your 10 tweets on why on your 10 tweets of making the list? Did you see it, Siraj? Did you see it? Say yes or no. Just say yes or no. Did you see that tweet thread of me listing you? Because it was fucking hilarious. Half of the month, I mean, not even half. I think 8 of the tweets, not 8, I think it was maybe 6 of the tweets were you being horny online. Like, we understand it. You're fucking horny as shit. Like, you gotta go through those tweets. My explanation of why you were horny in the month of June is justified. Absolutely. And then your number one tweet was this. Welcome, Habibis. I'm joining locals. Why? Because we're family. And also, you're going to get my unfiltered 100%. I had to put that in there. Unfiltered issues in life.
Moving on. Let's see.
My favorite thing about that video is that it's up there for how long? What, 2-3 hours? For anyone who follows. For any new followers, that video will be up there for 2 hours. And it's so good. It's so fucking good.
I hate all of you.
Siraj, I love you. And honestly, follow his local community right now. All of you guys. It's awesome. I'm serious. It is pretty awesome. I'm not joking. It really is. I'm going to be joining locals here after this weekend as well.
Go fuck yourself, Jay.
You're going to see a great video of me. Habibis, thank you for joining my jihad. I'm on locals today so I can be myself. And myself is Mujahed Kobbe. Thank you, Habibis. I had to put that in there. Habib, we all love you. We love you so much. I swear to God. There is no better Habibi bro out there. Or is it?
All right, Habibis. That's been it for us. Thanks so much for joining the program. Hope y'all have a good night. For the Habibi Bros, I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And we'll see you next time on the Habibi Power Hour. Go fuck yourself, Jay.
I love you, Abby. I love you so much.